Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. Been pretty busy this week. Had to do some towing, had Mitzy up here, bring a couple vehicles into the shop. One of them still on the back of it. But one thing I want to get taken care of, since it doesn't have a working speedometer or odometer, and I'm not the only one that drives it, the fact that it doesn't have a gas gauge can get you into trouble. So we're going to see if we can remedy that today. We are pretty fortunate in the fact that with the flatbed, we can kind of get to this sending unit. Now it sets about a third underneath the cab here. I hope I can just take it loose and, you know, French it up out of the way and not have to move the tank at all. We'll see. The first thing we want to do is clean all the stuff out there, because you don't want that falling down into the fuel tank. Now we want to test this and make sure that we're in the right. This is supposed to be just a plug that slips on. You unplug it and you take a wire and you hook up to the terminal in here. You want to find a good ground. It's ideal that you have two people doing this, because you never know if you got a good ground. But you ground the other end of this wire. Then you get in and you turn your key on. There you see it went to empty. The way these gauges work, the less resistance it has, the more empty it shows. So if it's grounded out, there's no resistance, it goes to empty. And the resistance rises, it goes to full. So if the wire is unhooked, it's clear over past full. That's how you check these older ones. Some of them are backwards and you can't always ground them. Just an FYI, the newer they get, the more careful you're gonna have to be. But these older ones, you can ground them and then try them. And that'll tell you if it's in the gauge up here, if it's in the truck wiring, anything like that. You also want to try grounding the tank sometimes. Make sure you've got a good ground on your sending unit. That tank does not have a good ground, but it has an extra wire going to it too. I've already checked this some months ago. I knew what it was, but we just went to double check it. Here's what we're putting in it. FG05C precision sending unit. About the only one that is available. They had a 2-line and a 3-line, and the one that's in it is actually a single line. I don't know what year it's from, but that's something else about these older ones, is you have some leeway on what parts will fit and what parts won't. This is a 3-line. It's got the suction line that goes up to the fuel pump. It's got the return line that comes back from the fuel pump, and it's got a vapor line. You don't need those other 2 lines. And this part here is $20 less than the 2-line. I'll just put a boot over the end of it. I don't care. We'll just have one hose hooked up. It's fine. And especially since it's so easy to get to, you're not having to worry about, am I going to have to drop the tank again? Hopefully. Another FYI, you've been moving around. Keep blowing it off. You'll keep dislodging stuff. You'll stop every few minutes and blow it off again, because you're going to keep going. I'll pop this loose, start it rotating, blow it off again. Once I get the ring all the way loose, I'll blow it off again. When I start to move it, I'll blow it off again. I'll just keep on doing that, because you're going to keep on getting junk, and you might even get some junk down in the tank. Preferable to wash it with a power washer, but I didn't do that. You also, before you pull anything, you want to locate where your locks are. Here's one here, and here's one here underneath the fuel line, and that's where this one is. And there's one notch back here kind of underneath the fuel line. That just, you know, do as much as you can to ensure you got the right part before you take it apart. You'll still make mistakes, just like I do, but at least it limits it. Now, I will say that if you're on a style side bed, replace your fuel hose, because it's really difficult to do if you have to do that later. So while you're doing this, go ahead and put new fuel line on it. I'm not going to worry about it here because, well, I've got a flatbed and I can get to it real easy. But if you're having to drop your tank to do this, this is going to be $1 or $2. Do it while you're there. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the fuel line here. These little clamps are usually 1/4 inch. I don't know what year this tank is out of, but like I say, most of the square bodies were all the same. I can't remember which tank was in it originally. Because at one time, this was a dual tank truck. That hose don't feel any too good. Now, got these little notches up here. You start kicking them kind of in a circle, counterclockwise, of course. I don't see it moving.
It's not wanting to move.
We might have to change tactics. Now you can bend this up a little bit. Grab in on it. Get it to pop out. There we go. The part comes with a new locking ring. So as long as it's the right one, you don't have to worry about destroying it a little bit. This one's not in too bad of a shape. You can always straighten it back out and reuse it. Before you pop this loose, scratch around on it so you can get all this junk out here. You don't want it falling down in the tank. See all that? A lot of it's road tar. This thing's been bebopping around since Christ was a corporal. So can't prevent it all, but you can prevent a lot of it. I could just rotate that around a little bit, pick it up out of there. That sock looks wonderful. There's no ground wire on this, but like I say, I checked, I grounded this and it still didn't work. So yeah, that sock being broken like that, that's not going to do too good. Okay, I'll replace the seal and we'll drop the new one in. I'm going to stick you in there, see what you can see inside that tank. The inside of this thing has not seen the light of day since the first Bush was president. There's a little bit of junk in there, but it's not too bad. Now we're comparing our two parts here. Line them up. Our locks are in the right place. The suction line is in the right place. These other two, I'll just put a knob on. They line up good. I like this sock better than these old flexible socks. And that one, of course, is broken. So I'm gonna get the new seal put in the tank. I'll put some boots on this and we're ready to go back in. Now I've got a plug off on the return line here. You can tell this is the return line by the way that it is. There's the vapor line. Got this little diffuser on the bottom of it going out to this spout. I don't have the special end that's supposed to go on it, so I just take a vacuum cap and cut the end of it in a cross pattern, just like that, so that junk doesn't get in it, but it can vapor out and suck vacuum. And then we'll just slip it on the end here, just like that. Not too far up on there so that it seals itself. Now, pull this seal out of here, trying our best not to disturb any dirt. I usually rub my finger around. There's always a little bit of stuff on there. Watch your ears. This is a vacuum that runs off of the Venturi effect. Unwieldy to use like that, but it's low impact is what I'd guess you'd call it. Doesn't move a whole lot of air. Sometimes moving more air makes it worse. And you definitely don't blow it out with air when you got that thing open. Now we're going to see if we can fish this down in here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult now that I've got more lines to work with. There we go. Boom. There, that's in place. Get your locking ring, feed it over here. Come on. There we go. There. I've said that 4 or 5 times. That new seal, setting it up quite a bit. Pick it up a little bit, make sure that we're not out of the groove somewhere. We're not. It's just setting it up that far. This is going to be fun. Oh, you. Darn thing is not wanting to seat down in there correctly. There we go. That got it started. Last little bit would lock it in. I don't know if I'm even going to go that far. I might just leave it there. Just liable to tear things up trying to force it. Okay, now I got to find the wire. It took off on me. Okay, and we're going to plug in our sending unit here. Okay. Return line is too close. Now it's out of the way. We're just going to do this real quick, make sure everything works. Well, it's not reading way over past full now, so I'll take that as a good sign. I'll see what it does as I'm using fuel out. Okay, we got our hose hooked up here. I dropped the ground wire over top and I'll see if I can hook it up in there. This looks like a good place to do it. Here's a star washer, that'll help it ground. There we go. Well, it's reading full, and I did fill the thing up. So, well, hopefully it's all right. At least if it's not reading right, it's reading something, and I know where it's going to be running out of fuel. But that's how you do that one. Like I say, a whole lot easier on this one because it's a flatbed. You're going to have a time on a style side, which my son is finding out on his restoration project. But that's it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.